Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you my T206 Red Sox team set. The T206 set is the most popular pre-war set. Consists of 524 total cards, of which 12 of them are Red Sox players. So going for the whole set was not something that was feasible for me, but I decided to try to assemble the 12 Red Sox cards. And completed it a few years ago. The first card here is Jake Stahl with gloves showing. There's two Jake Stahl cards in the set. This one's a pretty nice looking card. It's got good colors on the front, decently centered, corners are not terrible. Has a sweet capital back. All the cards I'm going to show you today are either sweet capital or Piedmont, which are the two most common and cheapest backs on T206 cards. Some people really get into collecting the different backs. Some of them are really expensive. Broadleaf, Carolina Brights, Drum, Ooze It. You're going to pay thousands of dollars just for the premium just for those backs. So Jake Stahl played for the Red Sox, also managed the team from 1912 to 1913. He was the AL home run leader in 1910 with a whopping 10 home runs. Runner-ups were Ty Cobb and Duffy Lewis, who were tied with 8. And he died of tuberculosis at age 43. Jake Stahl with gloves showing. All right. Another Jake Stahl card, this one without gloves showing. Another pretty nice card. Good colors on this one, nice white border, no creases, pretty well centered. You can find a lot of these cards on eBay ungraded like this for 40, 50 bucks. A lot of them are not too difficult to find. A couple of them a little bit more expensive. I'll talk about those later on. But this is Jake Stahl with no glove showing with the Piedmont back. Alright, next up we have Heine Wagner with bat on right shoulder. What I look for when I was buying these, I was looking for cards that were pretty well centered. Some rounded corners don't really bother me. Minor creasing doesn't bother me. I like a nice clear image with good colors and nicely centered card. This one has sweet capital back also. Heine Wagner played Major League Baseball from 1902 to 1918. He was the captain of the Red Sox in 1912 when they won the World Series. Also played on the championship teams in 1915, 16, and 18. Managed the Red Sox in 1930. So that's Heine Wagner, bat on right shoulder. Next we have Heine Wagner with the bat on left shoulder. This one's graded a 4 by PSA. It's a pretty nice card. Again, pretty good colors on this one, well centered. This one does have the name and team name kind of right on the edge, which isn't ideal, but I got a good deal on this card. I think I won it in an eBay auction for about 60 bucks, something along those lines. Again, common back, Piedmont 150 subjects. Pretty nice clean card there. Heine Wagner, bat on left shoulder. All right, next up we have Eddie Cicotte. I talked about him yesterday. He was a good pitcher, most known for being a member of the 1919 Black Sox, and was banned for life from Major League Baseball for throwing the World Series. Again, common back on this one. This one's a little bit rougher than the others. Eddie Cicotte, you're going to pay a little bit more for him. I think you can find a card in this condition for about 75 or 80 bucks. Corners are a little bit more rounded than the others. A little bit of staining there on the bottom, some scuffing on the bottom. But overall, not a bad looking card. Next we have Tubby Spencer. Nothing particularly special about Tubby Spencer as a player. He played from 1905 to 1918 and was distinguished by leading the AL and being hit by pitches in 1917 when he was hit 9 times. It's about the most interesting thing I can tell you about Tubby Spencer. Pretty clean card, not perfectly centered, but not terrible. In this card here, you can see how the name and the team name are a little bit better spaced than the last one I showed you, the Heine Wagner. It has the name kind of right on the edge. I prefer cards that look like this, as far as the spacing on the bottom is, with a little bit of margin below the name. That's Tubby Spencer. Next we have Harry Lord. It's a pretty nice looking card. This has a little bit darker blue background. Kind of a cool looking card. If we can focus. Let's see. Not going to focus for me. Harry Lord played in the major leagues from 1907 to 1915. There we go, a little better. Batted .277 for his career, had 1,024 hits, so a pretty solid career. Sweet capital back. You can find this card for about $40 in conditions similar to this. Okay, next we have Harry Niles. He's a common player. He played for 4 years in the major leagues, batted .247. It's not going to cooperate with the... Yeah, there we go. Getting that focused. Okay. Decent looking card, similar to the others, reasonably well centered. Colors are pretty good. Corners a little bit rounded. It's got the common back. Piedmont 350. That's Harry Niles. Next we have Frank Arellanes, who played from 1908 to 1910. Career 24 and 22. He was a pitcher with a 2.28 ERA. He died at age 36 in 1918, a victim of the Spanish flu pandemic. He's believed to be the second Mexican American in Major League Baseball. You can find this card in this condition for about $30-40. All right, next up we have Bill Carrigan. Bill Carrigan was a player, later also manager for the Red Sox. He was a catcher, 3-time World Series champion, 1912, 1915, 1916. Babe Ruth said that Bill Carrigan was the best manager he ever played for, which is pretty significant, I'd say. He's a member of the Red Sox Hall of Fame, and he lived to be 85 years old. He died in 1969. This card is the only card I'm going to show you today that has a red background. Kind of a cool looking card. Again, common back. It has a little bit of staining or scuffing, or also some creasing on that bottom corner. But the front's not terrible looking. That's Bill Carrigan. All right, the next card is Red Kleinow. This is a cool looking card. Red Kleinow was a reserve catcher. There's also a New York variation of this card. So you can find it with Boston or New York on the bottom there. Boston is a little bit harder to find. He played for the New York Highlanders, who later became the Yankees from 1904 to 1910. Boston from 1910 to 1911. So in the middle of the run of the T206 cards, he was traded, and that's why there's Boston version of this card. This is a SGC graded a 5. This is a pretty nice looking card. A little bit sharper corners on this one. The image is pretty nice. Good colors, no creases, well centered. And this one has the Piedmont 350 to 460 subjects. That shows that it was released later in the printing of the T206s, which makes sense since he was traded to the Red Sox in 1910. This card will set you back in this condition. Well, this condition, I think I paid about $300-400 for this card, but you can find this card for about $100 in lower condition. And last but not least, Tris Speaker, member of the Hall of Fame, 5th all-time in career hits, one of the best hitters ever. This is a SGC4, nice dark blue background, pretty well centered. Corners are a little rough, and there's a crease across that upper left corner there. But overall, not a bad looking card. This has the Piedmont 350 back. All right, Tris Speaker. So that is the Red Sox team set for T206. One nice thing about collecting a team set like this is that you can put together the set for about $1,000. The speaker you can get in lower grade. I looked today on eBay. There's a PSA 2 for sale for $400. The Kleinow and the Cicotte you're going to pay about $100, and the rest you can find for $40 in lower grade. So you can put together a presentable set for around $1,000. All right, that's my Red Sox T206 team set. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.